and not impunity. What I expect, if we want to be honest, is there is supposed to be another demonstration on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Let the demonstrators, even if they want to carry it in every county, it's possible. Let them tell the police, let them notify the officer commanding police stations of respective counties. And let them tell them between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. where do they want to assemble and which route do they want. The police will give them farasi, will give them the so-called 99 vehicles. We will even give the leader of opposition, my good friend and my relative, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, that everyone in this country respects and holds as a statesman. Raila Odinga is not an ordinary Kenyan. He's walked through the path of democracy and he cannot afford to spoil it at the last minute. He must not be president. He can allow any other person, even in his team, to become president. And I can say, with due respect, and the kind of, from His Excellency the President, these I can call them his boys. These are the people that he worked with in 2007. Kalonzo, not Kalonzo, Musalia Mudavadi, Wetangula. These are his boys. Ruto. These are his people running this government, the people he has trained and developed. So my take is, if he truly has a reason to demonstrate in the 47 countries, let his team notify the station commanders of the respective areas. Let him give the routes. The police will suspend work on that day. And even if people want to walk from here to Mombasa to show their agitation, itafanywa. Lakini tusitumie impunity kuharibu nchi yetu. That you know very well the law. The people he works with, I respect the former Deputy President Kalonzo Musyoka, a renowned lawyer, Martha Karua, top politicians, good lawyers. They understand the Public Order Act. They just decided to suspend it because maybe, you know, as it is said, that politicians don't care. What politicians, like for example, when after the end of elections, what politicians think of is, how do I win the next election? So in fact, the person in government is struggling, how do I win the next election? The person who has lost is also struggling, how do I become relevant and win the next election? Both parties must be reasonable for the sake of this republic. And I'm still stating that I can assure you, from the president to his deputy to everybody else, one of the persons who command the highest respect is Raila Amolo Odinga. And nobody disrespects him. But let us follow those regulations as they are. Okay. Let the police be, and let it be in good faith. Don't tell people that tunaenda kuchukua serikali. The election was done. Chebukati went ahead and announced the person who won as per his records. And they went to court. And again, the court confirmed him as the president. The former president handed over power and instruments of power to this person. We know very well the economy is not doing very well globally. And we have all the means. In fact, I can tell you, the millers who, just 2 weeks to elections, you know, the price of unga came down. And the millers were allegedly, supposedly given subsidy. They were not paid. They are asking from the current government to pay them. Most of the fuel issue, the subsidy that was supposedly given to multinationals and those importing fuel, they are still pending bills to be paid. So what we are saying is we need this country and we need to come up with good systems. And politicians should stop being lazy. Work hard, win an election.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll let that be your last word and now invite the Commissioner and Hussein to have their last words. Juu nimeona Fred Mutiridi amepita hapa na mbio sana, so najua amekuja kuni-evict. Commissioner.
Thanks, Olive. There's a Swahili saying, I think I'm going to translate in English. It's about when two bulls fight, the grass gets damaged. In reality, what we have today is a lose-lose situation. Nobody's going to win it out of this, okay? If you look at even what you've said right now here, the cost of the demonstration to an extent is not just direct in terms of me not opening my shop, but even from a government perspective, the government is losing on revenue. I mean, the city of Nairobi is not lose so much in revenue. I used to be at CC Finance in Nairobi, and March used to be the highest collection because of rates. So when Sakaja is saying that they collect 30 million, because you collect an average of 100 and something million a day in March. When you're doing a 30, your 70% loss is staggering, okay? KRA has got the same problem. We lose 3 billion a day in demonstration. Actually, that's the most accurate figure. So the government side actually is losing. Like just last week, Olive, actually last week but one, Angola and Ethiopia overtook us as in terms of GDP. So while we're busy picketing here and talking about and debating about what happened last time, the economy is booming, okay? On the other hand, even for those who are calling for demonstration, they're doing this and not going to win either way, because that's what they're losing in terms of, you saw the loss of property last time. And even for the very reason they're demonstrating, the shilling is losing, so that means the cost is going to go high. 58% of Nairobians actually earn a daily wage. You're talking about my two colleagues here, although he said he's in Juakali. So you can imagine me who's earning 500 shillings a day not going to work. I won't even have the money to buy the unga, so even I'm losing. So here's what I'm saying is this: that we need these sober voices to rise. We need to be more sober in this discussion, because this is a lose-lose situation for our country. Okay. So may the sober voices prevail, that we can have actually dialogue, so that whatever issues that we really have can be addressed, so we can move on as a country, because we genuinely need to move on as a country.
Okay, and feeding into what you said, actually the East African headline is this: Dar gains from Kenya riots as region on edge. Your last word, Hussein?
For me, first of all, I want to commend Mr. Wino and his last words. And I hope those words will echo out throughout the country to all police officers, that police are not stopping anyone, but let it be done in accordance to the law. And, you know, people have the right to protest, and that is very key for me. So, again, to just echo that, if you're going out to demonstrate, it is your right, your constitutional right. But please make sure it is peaceably and you're not armed. Okay? Police, on the other side, have a right to protect life and property. Police have a right to protect even the protesters, to ensure they are exercising that right within the limits that are out there. Police, wherever you are today, refrain as much as you can from using excessive force. Sometimes force is necessary, but you must make sure any force you use is commensurate to the action that is being taken. Okay. So the message for me out there today, yes, you have a right, but please make sure you exercise that right responsibly. We don't want to see chaos. We don't want to see vandalism. We don't want to see hooliganism, any form of lawlessness by protesters or any other person, including the police, will not be allowed to stand, and we will follow through. We have officers across the country, if need be, to go to court and hold individuals, not parties, not politicians, not security, police in general, but individuals responsible for their actions. Okay. I think that's for us from civil society.
All right, James, I'm on borrowed time. Your last word?
Of course, I want to echo the sentiments of my colleagues and say this. You know, some of the things that are happening could be political. You never know where this will end.
They are.
It might as well be that one of these fine days we'll have dialogue and we'll have peace. And I want to send an urge caution, especially amongst the police officers, because we have seen this happen before. After all the chips are down, there are institutions that will come and look for you, that specific individual police officer who committed something that is wrong in the force, okay? As Kenyans, if you're demonstrating and you're doing something, vandalizing, hooliganism and so on, at the end of the day, if you are caught finally by the law, you are going to be responsible for it. So, both sides of the divide, take responsibility for your actions. Exercise your rights under the law to demonstrate, but demonstrate in accordance with the law. And then police officers, the country has moved on from that impunity of police officers of many years ago. One of these fine days, something will, the environment will have come down, and you will get surprised that you are receiving a call being told, my friend, you did this 2 years ago, now you are going home. Or you are just fired. Or something serious really happens against you. Probably you've just started your career in the police force, and you know how difficult it is to get into the police force. It is